Yeah, now we're recording.
Okay.
Okay, the great Dino Archie is here. We were just talking about how Drake is suing because Kendrick is getting a lot of plays.
Drake's telling that hey, even the top guys up top, everyone's bought off. It's all a scam, man.
Right.
Yeah.
But this has been known for years, right? Like some artist comes out of nowhere and then they get, they're the top of the charts and their album goes double platinum. And then it's like, but the label bought like 400,000 of those albums. And they're sitting in the same warehouse where the Ark of the Covenant is that Indiana Jones took.
Yeah, my first show I did, the theater show out here. And, the company I was working with bought like 300 tickets.
That's kind of them.
Yeah.
What a bunch of sweethearts.
Yeah, exactly. And
gifts for their family?
I don't know.
No,
I didn't ask questions. I know that. I said, wait, what a minute. That's not how many people are here. And it was like remember how Ja Rule or how 50 Cent
whatever you're going to say, yes, I remember.
What?
I know what you're going to say.
You know what I'm talking about?
When 50 Cent to troll Ja Rule bought the first 5 rows of his shit.
He sold it. Yeah, he bought all the he still sold it out.
Yeah,
that's not
funny.
an L for that wasn't an L
it's very
for
50's and then 50 goes bankrupt. He's like, I don't know what happened. It's like, well, you bought $50,000 worth of Ja Rule tickets and you didn't even go and sing along.
50 is so dope though, man, because he's 50. He's already his own guy, but he's also like the black Donald Trump. He'll lose it all and then get it all back.
Yeah,
and I don't even know what he lost or didn't get, but it looks good. It looks the part.
It's wild. Financial swings are fun to watch.
Man, yeah, he's
50 will die either broke or was rich or was just one of those two things.
Trying to get rich or die trying. You just said his whole.
I just named his film and album.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, if he run for president, that would make sense to me. I see his future being real bright because America, man, we give us the show, man.
I feel like you have to be able to roast people to be president now. We're not going back to, guys who can't throw insults anymore. Hillary tried with her a basket of undesirables or whatever the fuck, and that was just the worst burn ever.
Yeah, that was crazy.
The roastmaster general would have you
because
a shot
because it's like Trump could talk real nasty, but it's still, he's just riffing, man. He just, to me, in my mind, he's just talking loose.
It's just locker room talk.
To me, it's locker room talk. And so
everything on the campaign trail, locker room talk.
I knew nothing about the guy, man. Except he had his show. He had his show on TV, but I was never into watching the you
Apprentice,
fired,
right?
Man. That shit. I wasn't.
That show fully tricked me. I watched it and I was like, this guy. The business acumen and his children are this smart too. And later on, the guy who ran Survivor's I wrote all that stuff for them to say, and we decided who got fired or whatever.
Well, but that's that guy's story, man. Everybody, did you make money together? Did you take over the code? Did you, the Muggles like this shit. It's I'm out of it. I have nothing to do with it. I've already lost my mind. I don't count.
Yeah.
I don't count myself in the group, but for Muggles, all that shit matters to them. They get finessed by the image of somebody and then get mad at that guy, shaking your hand at Ronald McDonald. You might as well do that.
Because you look, if he's the clown you say he is and you're expending all this energy making fun of him.
Right, you're still going to McDonald's.
Yeah.
When times are tough,
And Trump may be serving you at the drive-thru, depending on which location. So what Democrat has the juice to burn people? I think of Pete Buttigieg and AOC. They're but they're already so ingrained with people who no one likes. The only thing Buttigieg could have the edge on him, because Trump would just inevitably be you're gay, and then Buttigieg could do an 8-mile yes, tell everyone. He comes out with he's I'm an out politician. Everyone knows that, and then throws the mic at him, and then Trump, the 313, the free fuck for 3 world.
Yeah, I could dig. God this.
Damn,
movie.
I'd love a remake of 8 Mile with Trump and Pete Buttigieg.
If it was the 80s, I'd greenlight it. I'd greenlight it right now.
Yeah,
you went in the 80s. You could have brought that to an exact halfway finish,
right?
And they would have made it something happen.
I guess so.
That was a golden.
But
age.
it would have been the easy kind of hip hop that you could do in the 80s,
all
Hey,
the
dude,
80, all the
you're
80s,
looking like a fool, and like
Yeah,
only
yeah.
like single syllabic rhyming. Yeah,
80s hip hop was very
80s hip hop
much
could be freestyled
not-
by anyone at any time ever. I could 80s hip hop a full day and just never miss a rhyme
It's
if I
true,
wanted
man.
to. Hey guys, Danny Mac cutting in here, just interrupting for a moment to let you know that Dino and I like to joke around, but there's nothing funny about trying to freestyle like an 80s rapper all day long. Now, I know it may look easy, but you could get seriously injured or even killed trying to do such a thing. So, stand back, leave it to the experts like Bubba Sparks and Chingy, and stay in your lane. You don't want your family crying because you died in an 80s all-day freestyle rap accident. These things happen, and I'm looking out for you. All right, back to the interview. I don't think Tom Cruise dies in his movies traditionally either.
He died in Collateral.
Oh, that's right. Man, he was good in Collateral.
He was good in Collateral, but when you look at the movie again,
I like that gray.
I don't
silver
like
fox.
it, man.
It's no good upon rewatch.
I'm not saying no good. It's just I don't like the fight. I don't like the fight scenes of movies. I don't really like fight scenes unless they're like, it's hard to do good fight scenes to me.
The most unrealistic part of that movie to me was how quickly a rich, beautiful woman decided to, maybe I'll date this cab driver I talked to for 5 minutes.
Hey, well, you never know though, man. When it comes to that, you know, you might, yeah, stranger things have happened. You know what I mean?
It is the movie magic.
Yeah,
it is the power of cinema.
Right.
I guess you're right. I should extend my disbelief a little.
Yeah, that's just,
I walked out of the theater. She gave him his number at minute 8 in the movie, and I'm like, nope. No. First of all, you can't drive around Los Angeles that quickly, and second of all, she's out of his league. So
That's
goodbye.
funny. It was a scene that I saw where he walked into this Asian nightclub and he kicked everybody's ass on the dance floor on the way to talking to the guy. So it was too Billy Badass.
Right.
And the way he was doing it, Tom Cruise is like, he's not a fight. That's not his expertise.
I think it is now. I think he was on the Oscar run for a long time and didn't get one. I think like he did Magnolia, and that's his
was
best
good, man.
performance ever in a
was
movie.
great.
He's insanely good in that.
And he didn't do any action
He didn't
stuff.
break anyone's leg.
Yeah, man.
He never jumped off anything high.
Right?
Really,
He wasn't running late to some or running trying
and
to.
he's in a scene with like Philip Hoffman, and they're dishing it out,
He's
and it's
an
like he's
actor.
very good.
His early movies was Color of Money.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going toe to toe with Paul Newman, the man, you know,
Right.
at that time. I mean,
That's
just
the
still.
sequel to The Hustler, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I have those. I have the Hustler PVR wherever I'm at.
I like sequels that are not called like The Hustler 2. Like it's like let's just do a whole new name, and if you're
Yeah.
hip to it, sure.
And it actually continues the story. But when
Yeah.
they try to remake, did you see Gladiator, the new one?
No, I didn't.
I
Did
didn't
you?
see it either. It looked weak. The CGI, yeah, because maybe I don't know what year that for a male adult when that year that it wears off. Like it's not, yeah,
Like the power
like
of
when you stop
CGI.
believing in wrestling or something.
Yeah.
It feels like at a certain point you got to grow up.
Personally, I hit a certain age where, look, CGI is great when done right, but I hit a certain age where I realized like CGI is the same as watching like an animated 2D Disney movie. Like someone on an iPad drew that with a crazy ass digital pen, and then put it into a program and like colored it. And
It's insulting.
and I'm like, so this is the cartoon portion of
For an adult,
Gladiator 2.
Yes.
Yes, I'm watching the cartoon part.
Right,
now.
right. After Matrix, when Matrix came out, you're talking about, I would go to the movies, man, every week. I love the movies. So, and I go with my mom to the movies. And I Matrix, when the trailer dropped, do you remember? Were you
When
outside?
the trailer dropped, I made my mom watch the trailer with me because it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen in my entire life.
So fun. I did the same thing. Like I was like, "Hey,
She's
lady.
like pretending
Right,
it's
I'm
cool.
like, oh, dude, I'm like, lady, I know you're working. You're a single mom. You're working. You're doing all this shit.
Mom, you gotta see
So you
this.
look at this shit. I go sit down and watch because my mom will. You start something and she'd leave and always like come back. But I'm like, man, watch this, man. And then he's doing his shit, and I guess they took that. Apparently, they're saying they don't give the Wachowski brothers no credit.
No.
They said that they stole the script from a black lady who wrote The Terminator. That wasn't proven.
Oh, yeah.
They said that.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, they stole this style of filming from the Japanese filmmakers. Did you ever hear that?
It's all just like, it's the same thing Quentin Tarantino does, but Quentin Tarantino is like, he cites the people he's paying homage to, right? And it's just like, if the Wachowskis didn't do that at the time, wasn't it obvious?
I know that there's a whole different market of film, but I know there was no film that big doing that level of camera work, like that witchcraft. It looked cool.
Yeah,
that was the first one where when she jumped up.
Which Matrix? The first
one.
Yes.
I'm talking about the first one when she jumped up and then they had the
swivel.
Yeah, the swivel when
swivel.
It goes in its slow motion. That was. Now you got an app that can do that. I could do that.
Yeah, I think that's the third button on TikTok when you fire up.
Yeah, you could just turn it to Matrix.
Some kid named like Joey Blowy 45 with like 1 million followers uses that every now and again.
One, I was gonna do the one where you turn into Venom. They had a thing where you put yourself in the position, then it turns into Venom, and I was like, I'm officially an old man. Like that's like I'm an old bitch at this point. Like
I like the one where Shrek is just like canoodling and kissing your ear behind you or whatever.
Yeah,
and I'm
that's some funny little.
Welcome to the We Review Filters podcast. I don't have a name for whatever this is yet.
There's a lot of funny filters out there, man.
Yeah,
there is. List all of them.
No, it's funny because I would make my mom. The cooler something was, I would like, you're right, because you're like, you got to see this, mom. And they're just like, in their head, they're like, when is this over? Like, it would be some wrestling move that like, I'm like, JR's talking about the replay right now. You have to come see this power bomb.
Right,
like, why would she care?
Any decent mother worth her salt is going to pretend.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? She's going to give it up.
Yeah, that's why I was like, Mom, let's go to wrestling.
But you got to be honest too with the kid. You don't. But also, you can't just be hella cruel to them. You gotta. That's fucked up, man. The thing they're interested in.
Parents are like, the fuck is this Bluey? Who cares?
Like, damn, bitch, why? Then as
this dog is ugly. Fuck it.
You're like,
I already know the ABCs. Stupid.
It's so funny, man. Those little things that that matter so much. How somebody talks to you. That's really it affects you more than anything else.
Yeah.
Somebody could kick your ass, but then. If they're like, hey, man, I was out of love, then you're like, oh, okay, you'll hear them out. You know what I mean? Like, but if you say some mean shit, I'm saying that you could come back from an ass kicking.
Wait, if the person who kicks your ass is like, listen.
That's pretty much.
This is called tough love.
That's why people stay in abusive relationships.
Oh, is that? I see. Damn, I'm learning so much.
Yeah.
It's the reason why.
It's because they talk sweetly to him. It's like, but if you could take the physical part out, pretty much just talk sweetly to me is what I figured out about me. Is that I like to be talked sweetly to, but at the same time,
I can be manipulated with charm. Yeah, that's right.
Well, call it what you want, man. Like, but just talk sweetly to me. That's all. How someone talks really. For me, whatever that I'll hold on to that more than I've got I would drink a lot in the past. You're out, you bump into you have some exchange with a dude, and you're like, man, what's up, man? If it gets there, then you guys go, hey, man, I thought you said, oh man, it's all good, and you come from conflict to becoming friends. Mm-hmm.
That is weird. Like when I think back to like friends I've had for a long time, I'm like, I think we've all had like a fist fight at one point in our lives. Yeah. Do you remember the last time you got into a fight?
Yeah, man, I got into a fight. Man, I got into a fight with a friend, man. But it was like, it wasn't fisticuffs, but it was grabbing collars.
So on its way.
Oh yeah. But it was a lot of drinking.
The prelude.
It was a perfect storm for like a fucked up night.
Alcohol, overly familiar.
Cold weather. Yeah. I was hungry. Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. I was in a bad place. He wasn't in the best place.
Didn't have my calories in for that day.
He wasn't in,
And when was this?
A couple years ago. And it was a good friend too, man. And since then, man, we both were so drunk that we remembered whatever happened in our way. You know what I'm saying? And then we was like, nah, man, fuck that guy. And
so there's still
no.
debate.
This is years ago. And then I'm like, man, what am I? Because I would see the guy, and this is it's just a friend of mine where whatever I thought he did, I was like, oh, this guy, he wouldn't do this kind of thing. But I'm like, did I remember it the right way? You know, with some time.
Yes.
Or
like after you got jacked also?
What you mean?
I just remember at one point, I was like, Dino's really big now. And I don't know if that was always the case or maybe I shrunk and you've always been the same
Nah,
size.
man, you're, I mean, hey, not for nothing, man, but you're kind of jacked yourself, man.
I gotta say.
We're just two guys telling each other we're jacked.
Couple of fellas drinking gin and saying, well, I think you're pretty muscly yourself. Sure, I'll rub your shoulders.
What'd you invite me?
Welcome to the I knew this shit was going to happen podcast.
Be honest, what'd you invite me here for?
The door is locked from the outside. I've got that news anchor button on my desk. There's no escape.
Oh, you're Matt
now.
Lauer?
That's who it was. I was fighting for the name.
Dude, I know all the perverts.
It's Lauer. Is Lauer back? They let them all back eventually, right?
No, it's not that he's. I'll put it this way: he's not back, but they're allowing him to walk amongst free people.
I see.
They allow him to walk amongst the clean people.
Right.
But he's a scarlet.
Yes, he has the scarlet letter on him. Yeah. Shame.
No.
Tomatoes thrown at him.
They go, oh, he's a rapist.
Oh my God.
But they let him walk around.
Yeah, they're like, all right, Matt, you've had your 6 weeks paid vacation. I mean,
yo, I read Ronan Farrow's report. I'm in deep with I didn't catch everyone, but any piece of information, I was like, this is news. And they're acting like, oh, we always knew this guy. I said, I didn't know what happened here. And they go, he locked people in and butt rape them. It's like, just throw this man in jail fucking tomorrow. How long have you been sitting on this evidence?
Yeah.
And because he had, according to Ronan Farrow,
this is Lauer still.
This is Lauer. We're getting to Lauer. How where Lauer comes in.
Okay.
You know?
This is the Lauer origin story.
Lauer report.
Yeah, the Lauer report.
NBC was about to drop the story exposing Weinstein, but Weinstein is best friends or buddies with the head of the National Enquirer. And the head of the National Enquirer has a kill file on all the celebrities, like all the dirt they did, the shit they know. So they go, well, once your time is up, or when you're bucking up enough, so they leverage that. They say, if you drop this, we'll drop this Matt Lauer story, and he's your guy at NBC, and then they both crashed out, man, and then the stories came out. So it's it's crazy how they have this information.
It's funny because the National Enquirer will just print insanity.
They've been honest,
but they're holding on to like real facts as well.
But they're
printing about Bat Boy, but they're not.
Right, they got Bat Boy.
And I bought a Bad Boy issue or two when I was a young man. I wanted to know about this Bad Boy.
Yeah, they were printing stories on Godzilla. And Dracula and shit. And you're like, Dracula.
They're going to the head editor, like, so we can talk about Matt Lauer in a sex dungeon, and this is real.
Right.
Or is Mothra going to attack New York again?
And then they always told us aliens were here, so they would tell us the truth.
Yes,
they've been it's been in our face the whole time.
God bless the National Enquirer and Rag.
So who knew they're sitting on all the secrets? I thought it was
like news, like when I was a kid, because it's on newspaper. You know what's crazy about like what we do, because there's no set path. Like there's like, like if you knew someone who went to like a comedy school, you'd be like, why'd you put your money there? Like, like, and film school's another thing. Like, I know that's all stuff you can like self-teach, but like it's nice to have someone like teach you about, I don't know, like lenses and like shit I literally know nothing about still to this day. But it's just funny how there's no, like, I don't know about you, but the idea of like being an actor and a writer and a filmmaker was like so cool to me, because I'm like, I won't have a boss, and then I can live this unconventional life, and then I just like grow up like, and I'm like, craving some sort of institution to like tell me what to do. I'm like, you know what? I could use a boss. And I'm like, all of a sudden I'm like, do I need a life coach? Like considering like hiring some idiot to yell at me and like all these things that I thought like I'd never want. Now I'm just like, shit, maybe there's a reason that there's cubicles. Maybe we're supposed to be in cubicles. God, maybe Jim and Pam had it all figured out after all.
Yeah, no, I definitely have through the years stopped talking because comics, artists are kind of assholes, man. They kind of foo-foo at the muggles and the daytimers, like we're some kind of, supreme beings who figured it out. But, it's
like I'm walking the streets at like noon, like unshaven in a beer t-shirt, and then I see like a guy in his suit go by and like head into the Price Waterhouse Coopers building, and I'm like, in my 20s, I'm like, haha, that guy had to shave today, and now I'm like, man, that guy's got his whole day figured out.
Yeah, you'd be like, where that guy is now. If I was there, now you become a whole new. You don't know how shitty that guy's life
I'm honestly just jealous of. Every now and again, I have an audition where I have to wear a suit, and I just wear it all day. I just cosplay as someone who contributes to society.
But listen, no, it's that. That's okay. When you're at that place, that's when you got to do the ultimate. You pretty much have to be delusional to be an artist.
Yes,
you have to.
That goes back to the parents. Yeah,
you have to be.
That's
delusional.
when they're too nice to you after an ass kicking, and they're like, "Look, that's because I know that you'll make it one day."
Right, right, exactly. Like
you need an enemy to win your Oscar.
That's what happens when you get too much support. Is you start following your dreams.
Yeah,
who
was like the first person that you looked up to? Because mine was Macaulay Culkin. Like it was that young. And I was like, oh, it's just weird. Like I was like a 4-year-old looking up to a 4.5-year-old or whatever his age was.
Okay, I could see that.
But that was like the first time that I was like, it'd be nice to swap lives with this, not Kevin McAllister, Macaulay Culkin. Because I was like, he's probably having fun promoting his movie. Like I understood that he was an actor. But then at the same time, I said I wanted to be a dinosaur when I grew up. So who knows how much I really had figured out.
So you knew the difference from him as a person and as an actor?
Yeah, because he was on the cover of magazines as well, right next to the National Enquirer. There was, like Macaulay Culkin, and I was like too young to I'm like, how do you say that guy's name? That's a weird ass name. And then he was in other movies, and he was in like movies I didn't like as much, and that's when I started like as much as Home Alone, which as a kid is like the best movie ever. And then that was how I kind of like understood like what an actor was, and I'm like, oh, wow, interesting. Okay. And then I'm like, oh, he kind of just gets to like bounce around and like,
oh yeah,
I'm like, there's no way he has to go to school every day, and like maybe that was the most enticing
you was
part
up
of it.
On that, man. Well, I was watching adult content ever since I was young.
Mm-hmm. I also was like allowed to watch The Simpsons. I wasn't allowed to watch whatever household. Yeah,
I was watching like full ass grown like French films where you see the muff. You know what I'm saying? Like not not porno,
right?
But because
that's
art.
called art.
Over
there.
This is art. We're talking about art here. We're not talking about
some of the smut over here. But
nah,
is that the thing of beauty?
You put a little bit of hair on that thing, it turns into fine art.
Yeah, that's right.
If it's unshaven, you go, what is this?
It's just Pornhub if it's shaved. Yeah, but it's disgusting. Yeah,
cover that.
Throw some hair on there. Put it in black and white.
Oh, now we got to film.
Yeah,
what they say.
Someone's gonna win the can Palme d'Or.
At the end of it, they go Finn.
Yes, Finn.
Yes. We do that in film school. Throw the fin on them. Let them know that you were.
Throw them a curveball with a question mark at the end of it. Yeah. Or is it? Yeah. Maybe she'll be back to have her heart broken again. What do you?
I knew about. I remember in second grade, they said, "What do you want to be?" or what they write it out. I wrote, "I want to be a director like Mario Van Peebles." Mm-hmm. That's a black director. His dad, Melvin Van Peebles, wrote Sweet Sweetbacks. Directed one of the biggest independent after Hollywood was failing and losing all this money in the 60s. All the independent movies started popping off, and a lot of them they made it to blaxploitation films like Superfly, all that shit.
Right. This
was one of the first ones, but Sweetback was like just a dope black character, a black man kicking ass and fucking, running from the man, and it was a storyline, where he was like Rambo.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and he
Was it funny though? Was it like
that one wasn't a comedy, but he was fucking bitches in it too.
Right.
Like, so he had a little bit
James
of time.
Bondish,
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
It was very cool for what, how it was done too. And that gave Melvin Van Peebles a whole career. And then his son made movies. He made this movie Posse that was like a black cowboy film.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did New Jack City. And I was like, oh, okay, I would see his name, written, directed by Mario Van Peebles. And then he did a movie called Solo. And Solo wasn't well received. But I think it's still one of the best movies. It was a trailer I was excited for because he was Black Rambo. Like, he was part cyborg, but part they were like Predator.
right?
Oh man, so yeah, I wanted
Solo?
to be called Solo. You put that trailer. You could look up the trailer on YouTube. Look it up.
Let's fire this up.
Yeah.
Solo
Because I was
trailer.
hyped about this movie when it came out.
What year was this?
Probably 95 or something.
Abbiamo investito milioni di dollari in questo progetto. Solo è stato creato per essere una perfetta
Oh, see, it's
macchina
only
da
in
guerra.
Spanish. I don't even know.
I was
It's
gonna
not
say,
even. Yeah.
I'm like, you were watching.
This is.
Truly anything. Is this
Look
the
at him.
movie?
Look
though?
at him. He's kicking.
Holy
he's
shit.
him.
That
He's
is
him.
full Rambo.
Dude, he's
oh
him.
man, and that's Predator.
Dude, he was Predator and Rambo mixed.
That huge flip. It's incredible. Oh, there goes the helicopter.
He kicked that guy's ass.
I almost think I'm watching Tropic Thunder right now. This is incredible. Solo. Rated R. I hope that's rated R. That's got to have blood everywhere. Nudity probably as well.
It didn't even have time for it, man.
Yeah,
They
there's
had
killing to be done.
fry. They had bigger fish to fry.
Let's go back to Tom Cruise for a moment. Because I'm telling you, Tom Cruise went for an Oscar and it didn't happen. And then he's like, I should just do movies like Solo, where I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm literally jumping, flipping, shooting, and I can be the best at that. And now he's old, and people are like, well, how much longer can he keep it up? And here's the thing. It doesn't matter if he's the best at it, because he's the only like 70-year-old guy doing that stuff.
Him and Harrison Ford
That's right.
was a guy, Liam Neeson. These are guys who were like,
He's still punching Nazis.
he's still chasing Albanians.
Yeah.
Down Turkish bazaars.
Yeah, that's right.
and
Trying to find his
finding
daughter.
perverts.
This guy's an irresponsible father. I just gotta, let's just
or
call
his-
it what it is.
Yeah, or
this
his-
guy's daughter's been kidnapped 14 times now.
Yeah, maybe she needs to switch where the places she hangs out at too. Does she get any responsibility?
Yeah, how about like,
How you
Dad,
get
I'm going on
kidnapped?
vacation next month. I'm going to go to
I'm
like
gonna go to-
Montreal with some friends. We're like, oh, okay, that sounds a little,
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna go to Romania for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to a new country called No Cell Service, Ania.
No, because to be honest, he had a German Shepherd baby mama, Liam Neeson. Because he was like, he was like, the ex-wife was like, she's going to Barcelona with that girl she just met and some French DJ. And he's like, yo,
Is this
I
the
didn't.
first one?
Yeah, he's like, I didn't sign off on that. And then the kid don't respect him because the mom doesn't. So she's like, I'm gonna
He
go
basically
anyway.
lets her go because
He can't stop her.
He wants her to not hate him, basically, right?
He can't. He doesn't even have custody of her.
Fuck, so he's a deadbeat.
You can't say that. You can't post movies.
We don't know
that.
if
We
he's a
don't know
deadbeat.
that.
We don't
no,
know.
No, we don't know. He can't.
But
because
there's a reason Mom
hell
has
nah.
custody and
listen.
Liam Neeson doesn't. We don't know
A
what that
deadbeat is if you both live in town and he's like, and you don't get kidnapped, and he could see you whenever you want, and he's like, fuck you.
A deadbeat is if it turned out like his buddy Jerry kidnapped you, and it's like, I always had a feeling Jerry sucked.
Yeah, no, this guy went after his kid and put it all on the line. Like, he loved this kid. He loved that. He loved his daughter.
Maybe he just loves murdering, and that was the perfect excuse. Everything. Maybe he set the whole thing up, and he's like, I'm going to send you to Transylvania or wherever the fuck, and then you're going to get got, and then I'm going to just break
Well, then
necks.
the joke's on me then, man, because the way he plays it like a concerned dad who gives a fuck.
You're right. Welcome
That's how
to
he
Who's the Father of the Year podcast. Liam Neeson, good or bad? We got lots to sort out here.
Yeah, no, I knew the Gladiator wasn't gonna be good when they had Denzel doing interviews, and he kept telling people that he kissed somebody. He's like, I kissed a man on this movie, you know, and it was like, what?
Like he's trying to put butts in seats.
Yeah, exactly.
Stir up a little. Oh,
Yeah,
I've never seen
shake a
Denzel
little
do
ass.
that before.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I haven't. That might work on me actually.
It not the promo. If he just made a decision as an actor and it was like, yo, that's the coldest man. You know, I never thought kissing a dude would be so cool looking or whatever.
Yeah,
if he did it the right way.
Damn, the Equalizer's kissing men now. I gotta try this shit.
Yeah.
So is it not good? Is that the consensus? Gladiator 2? I didn't really hear much.
I didn't see it, man. But
the Rhino turned me off.
I didn't see it, but the rollout and the guys doing it was like, I said, man, this ain't the Gladiator that I remember. Not that they weren't kissing men.
Not my Gladiator.
Not my Gladiator. Yeah, because sure they were fucking men back then, but that had nothing to do with the movie.
Right, yeah.
So,
but you just knew Joaquin Phoenix would have fucked Russell Crowe in a
come on,
heartbeat.
yeah, just like don't because even in the movie they did the way they did it in the first Gladiator was classy, you know, because he goes Oliver Reed, the great Oliver Reed, who played the owner, the slave owner. Mm-hmm. He was like, Maximus, he goes, you know, you have the people's hearts or whatever. He was like, what do you want, boy, girl? And he just said, what he threw that in there, like, what do you want, boy or girl?
Not
like,
man or woman, huh? That's interesting.
Right. I picked up on that. I was like,
if I'm doing script cover, there's one thing you might want to. I like these like old directors. I love how they're still doing stuff like Ridley Scott and Oliver Stone are still Scorsese and like. I think Clint Eastwood just said he did his last one, but like do them literally till you die on set. Yeah, because we're going to be like, you want to see a movie a guy made like 8 hours before he died?
Man, I think that's why we wanted to get into it because what a grift, man. What a life to
truly.
It's a grift, but it's real if you could paint a picture and it just, you know, makes memories and sticks with people. And a lot of those guys, yeah, they start their first movies. You be like, oh, you know, but you see them like any artist or any person, you see them develop.
Yeah.
And some people have their
and they get their voice.
Yeah, some people.
And it's funny because it almost becomes like a pejorative. Like people are like, that movie's so like, it's cliche. It's like, it's not cliche. That's that guy's like thumbprint. Like, we think it's a cliche, but he's just doing him.
Right,
you know?
Man. Yes. That's how I'm trying to, I think I'm going to get back into.
You got to direct something.
Well, just get into.
Yes, I'll star in it. Fine. God, I know that's why you're here. Meanwhile, I'm like, could you leave your family and hang out with me in my apartment? And I talk about how jacked you are. But yeah, I'll be in your movie.
Close by. You know, I like going to movies. Now I have a kid. I can't just go to the movie. So the movies come to you, but then you watch 20 minutes of a movie and nothing happens. Yeah. And you go, man, I don't got time for the rest of this shit.
You know what I think happens? So like, because all these movies that like, they're not in the theater anymore, but they seem like theater movies. So they're big and they go straight to streamers, right? And so many times I watch these movies and it just feels like something's missing. And then I listen to the directors in interviews and they say, oh, working with so-and-so, this streaming company was great because normally the studio has all these notes for you and they're checking in and they make you do things a certain way. And here I was able to do whatever I wanted. And I'm like, for the first time in my life, I'm like, do producers have good ideas? And like, maybe there should be this sort of like series of people checking in on what you're doing with their tens of millions of dollars.
That's funny,
like,
man.
Maybe the audience doesn't want to see that.
It's it's all like, but it all comes down to if you watched it and if you were if they took you to that place where you're like, hey, yo, that was worth my time, man. I went into their world and it don't have to be some huge payoff, but just give people something to watch. Give them a reason not to hate that they gave you their time.
Do you know what movie I saw? It's a couple years old now, but like I have no idea how I got talked into seeing this movie. And I was like, maybe it'll be okay. And I loved it. It was the Dungeons and Dragons movie with Chris Pine.
I actually heard some good things about
Dude,
that.
it's like the funnest. It's funny, and like I like somehow cared about everyone. I've never played D&D in my life for a minute, and it was just so good. I'm like, I don't know how. It's like my favorite movie that year somehow.
Yeah, the good movies, you don't have to go see them right away. A good movie could, will like a movie that I didn't see when it came out, but then I would have never watched it if my buddy didn't say, "Hey man, you got to watch Walk Hard."
Oh, the Dewey Cox story.
Oh, that's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Like it's one of the funniest.
It got slept on a little bit.
Yeah,
I think.
that's what. Yeah, there's a lot of movies like that, and I like those movies. Like, I liked. I'm like, hey, there has to be some new movies that are good like that, because all I do is watch older movies. Mm-hmm. That's it. I watch the same, and I feel good about that. Where it's like, oh, I could be watching something new, and I'll give something new 10 minutes, and if the characters don't, if they don't look the part, and the dialogue isn't there. Now movies will be 20 minutes and just nothing happening. Just somebody walking around, being awkward or something, walking in some forest, and you like, and then barely some leaves blow you, and it's like, man, for 20 minutes,
taking your time. Yeah. It's like, am I playing Silent Hill or watching a movie
I
right
feel
now?
like nobody has time for that. Like, now you gotta that's why these series are, came up over the last 10 years. Series became more, lit than movies. Like when Breaking Bad.
I was just gonna say
that
like,
one.
The first minute of that show is like, what the fuck is going
every
on?
time, man, I watch that show. You've made some good art when you can go back and watch the whole series again.
I don't know when the last time you rewatched Breaking Bad was, but I'm scared that it won't hold up. I don't know why. It's in my top 3. And I'm just like, maybe I won't like it anymore. It's become so, I don't know. It's just part of the zeitgeist. Maybe it's like, it's just a meme now. I just don't know if it'll have the same impact.
Nah, it's even better.
Okay, good.
It's even better on the. Now we're completely this is every podcast. It devolves into guys.
Fuck.
This should be called Shameful.
Yes, this should be called. You might as well listen to any other podcast, aka Shameful. Dino and Danny retread very trodden territory.
Look, this is your thing. I'm just a guest. If I'm around a lot, great. If I'm around a little bit, fine.
Yeah, what are you doing tomorrow? Let's tell people what we think about Batman. No two guys have ever talked about Batman on a
exactly.
podcast
But at the same time, it's like, no one needs another podcast. No one needs that. But the last stop is becoming a comedian. We always think we're so special. And we're philosophers, man. It's like, no, we're Me Too accused.
The riffraff, yeah.
When they kick you out of Hollywood. Or they you're selling your pussy online, you're tired of it, you go, I'm just gonna start comedy. Oh, it's a perfect transition.
Honestly, there's a lot of overlap between OnlyFans accounts and people who do shit with their feet and do stand-up comedy.
It's the same thing, man, because
it's like, I'll be streaming on Twitch later, and then I'm gonna be jacking off on OF, and then I'll be at the stand doing
I'll be doing because then I understand everyone's talking about jacking off. You know what I mean? You're just showing
So I was jacking off to my subs today. By the way, subscribe on Patreon.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to see me finish, you're gonna have to pay.
Yeah, we're in a wonderful time, man. This is what we're in the future, and this is what we're doing.
Yes.
We're
Thank
close,
you, Bill Gates.
We're close to having in Saudi Arabia, they're having FIFA there, and they're trying to make
2034,
right,
yeah.
And they're trying to do a stadium suspended in the air, and I was like, oh, we're finally really here.
It's Jetsons now,
man. Whenever you look in every futuristic movie and they're playing Thunderball and Murder Ball or whatever, it's a huge stadium and there's no ground.
What are they playing in what is it? God damn it, what's that movie where the bugs are coming?
Oh, you're talking about Harry Potter?
No. This is gonna kill me. Starship Troopers.
Oh, okay.
And there's some sort of, you haven't seen Starship Troopers?
No. Is some of that shit is all the same to me, but
So
is it good?
well, I only bring it up because they play like football, but the football's silver, and they call it like spike ball,
ball,
whatever,
yeah.
whatever it's called. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
football, but it's absolutely football.
I love that
with acrobatics, like the Solo trailer. It's
yeah, exactly. MMA,
triple
gymnastics.
back springs,
Yes.
into the end zone.
I always like how they depicted sports in the future, you know, and you know, so
A lot of neon.
Man, Running Man was one of my favorite movies. Mm-hmm.
I've never seen Running Man.
Oh my god,
I know. I have like action obsessed friends, and I just lie to them about movies I've seen.
Yeah.
I lie to them all the time. I haven't seen so many of their favorites.
Yeah,
because they're just gonna yell at me.
Yeah,
and they're finding out right now. Chris, I've never seen Demolition Man. I've been lying to you for literally 25 years.
Hey, it feels good to come clean. It has to.
It does. I'll also tell him never to listen to this episode so I could stop. I think one time his family was like watching Heat, and I like just really wanted to like go, I don't know, like smoke weed or something like a 15-year-old wants to do. And they're like, Heat's on. Have you seen it? And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. And then his dad bought me Heat for Christmas a few years later, and he's like, because you haven't seen it in a while, remember? I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait to watch all my favorite parts. And so that's why I saw Heat for the first time.
What'd you think?
It's incredible. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But I think I have to say that as an alpha male, as a jacked alpha male, I have to say that Heat is one of the all-time movies, right?
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like for some reason, as an alpha jack,
fellow alpha,
you have
welcome
to like
to the Alpha Male Podcast.
You have to like Heat, but it's you have to know within if you really like Heat.
Yeah,
and
that's where true strength lies. That's being able to admit you think Heat is just mid. Because the shootouts are realistic? Who cares?
He goes, make believe.
Yeah. I don't believe De Niro loved that woman at all. I thought he was going to leave her from the jump.
I was pissed that
that was a rude ass.
That whole story, that's the only thing that takes that movie from like a 5 to a 4 point, like a 4 out of 4 stars.
Is his mistreatment of that lovely
not
woman?
His man, it's like you got to slap the guy away. You can be like, hey, man, nah, man, this ain't.
He had a very laissez-faire attitude.
Nah, you can't get the librarian chick. You need a whore. You need a hooker. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Because he looked like De Niro in that movie looks like a fucking scumbag, man. Like he's got the leather jacket, the hair slicked back.
He's a scumbag.
Like anytime I picture him in that movie, there's no chance he's ever doing this. But he's got a toothpick in his mouth, like just in my mind.
Oh, he's a mean. Oh, I love. That was one of his greatest. The new De Niro, the old De Niro, he's not doing it right, man. He's talking too much.
He's on the front lines.
He's in the front lines,
yelling at Trump voters.
he's on the front.
I love how he's getting into scruffs with just people on the street.
He's on the wrong side, man. So he needs to chill.
Well, we all love De Niro because he's mysterious, but now he's just like fuck you, fuck you.
And this is the thing, damn fucking all taxes go. Shut up, millionaire. Fuck off.
Okay, where were we talking about with Heat again?
Heat.
He gets the girl, but he would have never.
It's like, what are you gonna do? Date this fucking?
It's a real collateral type situation.
Yeah, this lady works at Costco and shit, and you just gonna, she's a barista. She's like, I didn't know that you robbed banks or whatever.
Even off the jump, he's so mean to her. They're sitting next to each other at the diner, and isn't she like pass the salt? And he's like, why don't you go fuck yourself?
Yeah. I like that. I like that part because
he's negging her.
I like
he just read the game.
He negged her.
He's yes, time to peacock big time.
I don't like no chick asking all these personal questions. What do you read?
Personal questions. She's like, is that the Spanish omelet? Mind your own fucking business.
Hey, come who sent you, bitch? That's what
so paranoid.
Yeah, he's living. That's what I mean. He's living a different life.
Yeah,
you can't. If you're gonna be with her too, it's like, nah, man.
And she's like, what what an enigma.
Right. And he was like, damn. But I do like that. I like that movie, man. And Jane and Mike. What's his name? Michael.
Who directed?
Yeah,
Michael Mann.
Michael Mann did this movie in the early 80s called The Thief with James Caan, and it's the same storyline. So I thought that was cool. Like just like how when he did Manhunter, and then they do like
the first Hannibal
Silence of the
Lecter
Lambs. Yeah,
movie.
I like that, man. I like when they.
You're a big Manhunter fan.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember you and I talking about that a long
I
time
love
ago.
serial, like the how white girls like serial podcast murderers. I like.
That's your favorite genre of music, murder porn.
Murder. I like murdering sociopaths, psychopaths.
I know the Menendez brothers.
But I don't like the real. I like the made up characters.
Yeah,
Hannibal's
Lecter, the coolest.
He's the.
I think everyone actually respects Hannibal, not just because he's a learned man and he has great posture, but because he's willing to kill rude people. And everyone, when you're in line at the bank and someone cuts in front of you or does a dickish thing, I don't care who you are, how many Hail Marys you said that day. Something in your brain goes, I could just fucking kill you.
Yeah. You get murderous raging. Hannibal. Yeah, right. Hannibal's doing the Lord's work half the time. I'm going to eat your face, Clarice.
Oh, boy.
Now, the first man.
That sounded awful in my headphones. I've never heard myself do the Chianti suck before.
I'm so glad I didn't have my headphones on.
Yeah, you did not want to experience that.
I would have left. I'd have thrown this microphone down.
It's a mating call.
It's a good day, sir.
We shall end it there. Yeah, Hannibal's the best. I was so shocked that the Hannibal TV show was good. I was like, there's no chance this is going to be good.
It was so demonic.
It's fucking incredible.
I would have
insanely good cinematography. Yes.
It was when they had that TP of bodies.
Yes. Yes. I've masturbated to that so many times. I mean,
that shit made a Jeffrey Dahmer look like going to Disneyland.
I know.
Like, it was nothing.
Good. And Mads Mikkelsen is so good.
Oh, he's
I was like, oh, cool, the guy from the Bond movie.
He's James Bond
that might be a good
man.
pick. Yeah.
Yeah, he's so just
in the suits. He's just wearing the nicest
he's
suits.
$1 million, man. He's smarter than everyone. He's humbled and refined.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just overall a good guy.
I remember there's one episode where someone is in his office crying and he's comforting them because, folks, if you don't know this is Dr. Hannibal Lecter we're talking about here.
He's a therapist.
Renowned psychologist or whatever he is, yeah. And this guy blows his nose because he's crying and he just puts it on the armchair. The very expensive armchair. And there's just this micro quick shot of Hannibal close on his face and his eyes just look down to where the guy put the Kleenex on his nice armchair. And you're like, that's it. This guy's done.
Dead.
Yeah.
There's not.
He's going to be a snack.
Oh, well, he makes a 3-course meal out of the guy probably.
He does,
and has the guy eat himself.
I think they should do another, when he feeds you to yourself. Does that sentence work?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He'll just take the leg and...
Yeah.
How do you taste tonight?
And the guy's like, He goes, is this
I always
lemon
thought you
shard?
had good taste.
Yeah, this lemon shot. This is quite exquisite. And it gets so good the guy's eating it.
Yes, it's good. That's always the thing where people are like, you sick, twisted, I'll just dab a little sauce on You're a son of a bitch,
this
you know
is
that?
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
He goes, he cries. He's like, I've never eaten anything that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that movie, The Menu, where this is so good they just weep, but they're also dying. Yeah.
Yeah, man. He was sadistic, man. He was a different level, methodical, and
love him.
Yeah, good guy.
That's something I have in common with Trump. I will just, apropos of nothing, talk about Hannibal Lecter and just, there's silence at the dinner table this holiday season with my family. I'll be like, that's multiple MiGs in the next cell,
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's something that is a fascinating world, man. I can't shake it, especially if they're made up ones. Like, there's a movie called Ricochet in the 91 or something. Just no one would know this movie, except me. And it's Denzel, and he done Glory, he did all these movies, but now this is like a kind of a dark. He's a cop, and he's having a standoff with Earl Talbot Blake. 3 names. 3 names is a cold-blooded serial killer.
Right. That's the character's name?
Yeah, that's the character's name. And the guy has a pregnant woman. This is the opener. He has a pregnant woman, a shotgun to her head.
Jesus.
Come on, man. This is what I grew up on. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. This is in the 5 minutes. Like, this. Now we
Dino,
got action.
time for school.
Like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm gonna come back, man. I'm gonna watch this shit, and he's like, I'll blow this bitch's fucking head on, and it's John Lithgow.
Man,
Yes,
who's carved out a great like psychopath career for himself.
He could play a racist Southern judge or a psychopath renegade stone cold killer. Mm-hmm. You know,
Or a space alien.
Space alien,
hilarious space alien.
He could do comedy. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the main thing I knew him from was Third Rock from the
Yeah,
Sun.
yeah,
And that's where we got Joseph Gordon-Levitt,
Yep.
a three-namer who's not a serial killer as far as I know.
that was a white show that I dabbled in a little bit.
What's your top three white shows of teenage Dino years?
Teenage years? Man, TV was I dare to say kind of racist, man. Like I didn't watch a lot of white. Well, you had Boy Meets World, but that still wasn't. I couldn't tell you one episode or one storyline.
I thought that was my favorite TGIF show.
Yeah.
But I guess it wasn't because I also, I know the characters' names, but I also don't really remember any episodes.
Yeah, no, that show was kind of trash. And that guy, yeah, he didn't, to me, I just didn't believe him, man. And Topanga was a baddie, too. And I'm like, he's the guy?
Yeah, Fred Savage's little brother is pulling Topanga.
Sure.
I don't think, Sean would be pulling Topanga.
Sean had way more.
Sean had that gorgeous mushroom cut that
Sean had way more razzle dazzle.
Let me tell you, it was a race to the bottom. Me and my friends trying to duplicate that Sean mushroom cut when we were at school. We were all trying to do it.
That's
No
funny.
one had the density. No one had the shininess.
Okay, you know what? Now that I remember, Toolman Taylor.
Oh, hold up. There we go. That's the grunt right there. Oh yeah, you got to get the headphones in. Hold on.
Yeah, there we go.
Hell yeah.
There we go. That
The
was
first
white
drop
show.
of the pod. There we go.
That's the white show that I watched.
Yes, Tool Time.
Was Tool Time.
Yes.
That was funny.
Yeah. I called it Tool Time for years, and someone's like, that's the show within the show. It's
Right,
Home
right.
Improvement.
Home Improvement.
But I think they should just call the show Tool Time. Come
man.
on.
Tool
now.
Time is
because that show was on the air for like a decade.
Yeah.
And if you're Al, I mean, you just got to have a beard every day for
That's
12
easier than
years.
shaving.
Don't you get itchy? You got a nice beard. You've had it for a while.
I've
though,
had it
right?
for a while, man.
Day
And
4, I'm like, I'm going nuts.
I get mad when I cut it. I get mad when I cut it, man.
Yeah.
Like, but I had years. These are my bearded years for some reason. I don't know.
Well, it's winter. You got to stay warm.
No, I had it for over a year, but I've like cut it down. I did a goatee, like
Okay.
for like a I don't know. I was in that training day mode. I was in Alonzo from training day.
Yes.
I wanted to be a fucking really piece of shit.
Asking people if they like to get wet. Alex Jones will be our guest next week as well, by the way. I could probably get Alex Jones. He's having financial troubles.
No, they barely. I think I like Alex Jones because he's man. He's like he tells a hell of a tale, and he's a snake oil salesman. But he has good tea.
And so transparent. But
he has good tea. He has good tea, man.
Yeah.
He has tea on the government.
Well, it's like a broken clock is right twice a day,
you
right?
know what? I'm not. I feel like I won't even count it like that. They do say that saying, but I'm like, I don't know what's true or not. But the way he sells it, it sounds like
he's hypnotizing.
Yeah,
he's so
man.
fun to watch.
He knows, and he's done the research. But a lot of these stories he shares, I'll take that and do my own research. And I'm like, it wasn't just from the Alex Jones, newspaper. It's like, oh, there's some other stories. There's some other outlets picking this shit up.
Right.
And they're like, did he make this up? And everyone's just, it's like, he's just
like
a guy.
I'll get 3 copies of the National Enquirer and I'll skip every third word and make my own story from it.
Yeah. He gives alien late breaking news about any alien activity he knows about. He knows what's happening, the geo.
And with the same seriousness, he'll pivot from like warning you about Jeffrey Epstein to be like, yeah, your senator's a reptilian.
Yeah.
And I've got the
He
proof.
goes, I got stone cold proof, man. Like, yeah, that's what makes it weird. That's what I'm
He
saying.
shed his skin in my apartment
come
last
on,
night.
man. Yeah, you like. It's crazy if I sound crazy. You're making me hard to believe that, But then he said some shit that's hella real. And I'm like, man, they are doing it. The global elites did link up
And the Onion
shut this
couldn't
thing down.
buy his stuff, right? I think that didn't. Did you hear about that?
I'm glad about that, man, because I'm tired of people getting close to the truth and then some old bullshit, jive ass joke platform comes over.
You're on notice, Onion.
Yeah, man, you shut the fuck up, man. Like
you don't have as many layers as you think you do. You Harvard snobs.
Let the working man leave us to our theories and our conspiracies. Don't come over here.
I like when I'm flipping through Instagram and I can tell like who wrote this Onion article. Was it like, a dude who wrote for the Harvard Lampoon, or is it just an idiot like me? And every now and again there'll be one that's just like man has sex with Whopper. It's not as funny as he thought it would be. And I'm like, that one's for me. And then,
you're doing little clever puns and shit.
Not that was clever at all.
But whatever, man. It's like you're not, some of the stuff is satirical. And it's funny, but we make memes. We're the maker of memes.
Yeah.
They're not the only game in town, but if they're gonna do great work, fine. But it's like, nah, we could just do memes. I want to hear this guy. I want the internet to have space for that. Mm-hmm. I want a corner to go hear that.
I can almost never say this. Let your freak flag fly. That's tough. That should be my warm-up before I start doing these. I have to really think about it.
It looks like
I sound like I'm going to maybe say a slur. I'm like really scared.
It looks like you're going to have a stroke.
That's the hardest I've thought and concentrated in several weeks. I'm telling you, it's slow for actors right now.
That's good stuff, man.
It's funny how you had a good year overall, I think.
Hey, you know what? I'm choosing to look at it that way.
That's what I tell myself in the mirror when I'm crying myself to sleep. Yeah, it's funny. Like, you never know when you're going to book something or like get a good gig or whatever. And like the number one thing artists like to do is complain about the state of whatever their fucking career is. And so
and I'm like, I'm moving away from that, man, because...
Yeah, you look on the bright side. Yeah.
You know what? Yeah,
as you should. You're doing good. You're killing it. Do.
I mean, I got wants and needs like the next man, but I look at what I do have, and I'm like, yo, man, this is. I know you always got to compare yourself to the poorest village in Africa or something, which is presumptive to say they not having a good time in life. It's very crazy to say that, but I just look at like. All the stuff, I don't need a lot though, man, to be, really, I don't need a lot, man, to be, I won't even say happy, but just like content, man, and to enjoy the moment. Mm-hmm. That's all I try to do is enjoy the moment. And some moments aren't as enjoyable than others, but for the most part, yeah, man, it's way more good days than bad.
That's right.
And when I look at it like that, I'm like, yeah, that's good, man, because I would hate to feel like that. Some people, they'll have all this stuff, but they're just mentally, they're depressed. So they're always, fucking down. So no matter how sunny it is, they're feeling like shit. And I don't know if it's a chemical thing or they told themselves that story. And a lot of people feed off that of like where you go into the comedy spot and then everyone, oh man, yeah, look at it. Oh shit. Oh. Yeah. And it's like, man, what? People bought tickets.
Dino showed up and I got bumped, and then you're like, "Hey, I'm just kidding.
Exactly."
And you're like, "Well, I'm having a good time,
guys." Dino did an hour. Yeah, and he goes,
"The red light was on the whole fucking time. He didn't do anything.
And he wondered why we fucking had a bad attitude." No, I come in there, I do the same amount of time as everyone else, but I just try not to complain and shit.
Yeah,
some people don't. But I like making fun of the horrible things in life that we endure. That's fucking hilarious.
How don't you?
Yeah, that's great. But I choose to look on the sunny side, walk on the sunny side of the street, man.
I like that.
Yeah, life's already fucking too heavy, bro. So,
do you have any tattoos? Because I could be the first.
Oh, some version of that. I know, some more long speech, some stupid. Cliche saying, no, I don't have any tattoos.
Nice. It is. You don't have tattoos.
I don't have any tattoos.
I knew that. I've been watching your body, bro. I've been watching your body. I like how The Rock has like one pectoral muscle completely tattooed, but then the upkeep, like The Rock could never like not look like The Rock, or that tattoo's gonna look real weird.
Yeah. You get but yeah, especially if he's juicing, the older you get, that gravity.
I think he's all natural.
Okay. Okay, right.
I believe that's just good, clean living.
Yeah,
milk, a lot of milk.
I saw that documentary, the one Netflix one with Vince. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, the one that Bill Simmons made. Yeah, it's good. I didn't because I'm a pretty big.
Did you do a wrestling movie?
I did. That's the poster for it.
That's right, man.
Yeah, I did a backyard wrestling movie.
What the hell? That's cool.
It was wild, yeah. Because I didn't watch wrestling anymore after I stopped at whatever, the first time a girl will touch your penis, you're like, why do I watch wrestling again? I'm not doing this anymore. You just like lose interest at some point.
Right.
And then I had all this like information, like knowledge about the inner workings of the business, which I still found fascinating, even though I didn't like watch wrestling anymore. So I like knew how it worked and behind the scenes. And so that's why I wanted to make a movie about it, because I that stuff was cool.
I got to see that, man.
Yeah, I'll fix you up.
Fix me up, man.
I got a link for you.
Yeah, fix me up.
But that Vince doc, I didn't really like learn anything, but I love that other people are watching it, because now like all the insanity of Vince McMahon is now like public knowledge.
Yeah. I actually learned a little bit, but I was like, it wasn't, I think it was protected. It wasn't going to be.
It wasn't like as nasty.
Yeah,
like, did you read?
It
wasn't like the text
it
that
wasn't
he was
nasty.
sending that woman.
They didn't even touch on the nasty stuff like I wanted. Yeah.
They had the cry on at the beginning, and they're like, by the way, we know you're all thinking about Vince's disgusting text messages. We shot this right before that happened. Swear to God. We would ask him. Yeah.
Yeah, sure you would have. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was already. What you mean? We shot this before he had sent those 3 years ago. Yeah. You sent when he had the pervert mustache. That's
God.
When he was sending.
I don't know when he decided like the Vincent Price look was like what he wanted to do.
That was when he was at his nastiest.
Yeah.
Because he was like.
And you know who knew about it all this time? Ronan Farrow.
Coulda, National Enquirer.
He could have clued us all in.
The Ronan Farrow, yeah.
And the National Enquirer, those two, yeah.
The National Enquirer fucking
the big two, yeah.
It's up on it. If you did it, they know it.
They're the eye in the sky, watching us all.
You get too big, they'll come out. See that? But I'm talking about all my fucked up shit on stage this whole time.
Yeah.
So
anything you want to plug? I don't even know if or when this will ever be seen or heard by literally anyone.
Hey, how dare you? That was you're crazy.
People need to hear the praising of Mario Van Peebles' filmography. We got to get them. We got to get them listening.
Yeah, I'll do it. I would do a documentary, man, on Mario Van Peebles.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
and you've got a documentary about your comedy extravaganza that you're working on slowly, right?
Yeah, I'm working on that, man. But a part of me is like, I think I have confidence issues, and when it comes to doing something like that, of going like, oh man, is that overindulgent, or do anyone give a fuck about that?
No, that's cool. That's how it all works. That's good stuff.
Yeah, so I think
I'm into it anyway. I like that stuff.
No, I'm into it too. I just like want to make sure it's worth a damn, but it's also like, okay, yeah, I'm looking forward to, putting it together and getting those other comics together. That's really what it will be more. And then then the part about me, I don't want to construct it. I want it to kind of be
right.
I want it to surprise me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think I'm like, all right, so then I gotta really just be myself. Cause if a camera's around, are you yourself?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the part where I'm like, I just want it to be.
Are you the guy who's saying he likes heat? Or
Yeah,
are you...
exactly. Do you really like heat? Are you really
Is this heat lover Dino, or is this? You know what? It's just fine. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, they go. Oh, he's like,
that coffee shop scene isn't really that good.
Yeah, tear comes down. He did it, son of a bitch. He was like, he told the truth. He doesn't want to watch Heat for 3 hours.
No, he doesn't.
I like Heat though because
We like Heat, guys.
I like Heat because
we're men's men.
No, look, I like Heat because of Wayne Grove, the guy who fucked up at the beginning. He shot.
Oh yeah. And they're gonna kill him in the trunk of the car in the parking lot. But he gets wise to it.
like a little rat.
Yeah.
He scurries off.
I like that guy too.
He kills another prostitute.
That guy's got problems.
He's he's such a scumbag.
Yeah.
And he was so good. So he's actually my favorite.
Okay, I'm gonna stop recording. These people, they've got too much. They've been blessed with an hour and 17 minutes
that's fantastic.
of Dino Archie and featuring Danny Mac.